have a way of living your life. And I think that a lot of people are asking you questions how you deal with certain situations, especially because you're a devotee, and being devotional gives you a different perspective on life itself. So what are the questions that have been asked by people?
Well, I get asked a lot of questions about relationships and getting over certain situations. I find it endearing that people think that I can answer their problems just because I sing devotional music, and the truth is that we all have so many problems, and I'm certainly no different to any other person. And it's humbling that they think they can come to me, and they can, and I try and always respond to every problem that I receive. I just always hope that I'm giving the right kind of advice, because as I said, we all have problems. I have tons of them. But yes, on the path of being a devotee, when you are in love with the Lord, you try your best to show that love. In your friendships, in your relationships, it doesn't always happen. There are times where you will make mistakes, and this is something I realized. It's not that I thought I could never make a mistake. I've made tons through my life, but I thought maybe through my devotional music I've reached a point where I know who I am and I'm never going to make a mistake again, and that's simply not true, and
you make mistakes.
Everybody does. I do, and I suddenly think, gosh, how could I do that? And if I have faith, how can I be a certain way? Or if I preach a certain thing, how can I go against that? But this life is difficult, and human nature is there, and to to stick on the straight, righteous path is a challenge. It's a challenge that's easier for a devotee because you have your Lord in front of you, and you have that commitment to Him that, you know what, eventually I am going to reach you. So throw whatever you want at me, but know that I'm coming to you. And it reminds me of this story actually, which is one that I picked up from a friend, where there was this mandir, this temple that was made out of marble. So it was made out of marble and stone, beautiful temple, and inside it had a Krishna Murti. And this Krishna Murti was also made out of stone. And the Krishna Murti would get a lot of praise, a lot of compliments, a lot of attention. People would bring Krishna Ji Prasad and say, you're beautiful, you're handsome, I love you. And the marble floor said one day to the Krishna Murti that, how come you get all this attention? How come you get so many compliments? How come you get all this praise when you and I are made out of the same marble? And Krishna Ji turned to the marble floor and said, that's true, my friend. We're both made out of the same stone. But when we were being made, you wished to be made just as you are. You wanted little work done on you. You wanted the easy path. And thus you remain flat as you are, and people can come and sit on you because that's your purpose. However, when I was being made, they chopped into me, they cut into me, they grinded me, they, molded me. And only then have I taken this beautiful form. And that is why today they praise me. And I think that story kind of sums up what every person is going through. Every experience we have, including myself, kind of shapes us and edges us a little bit more. And hopefully we're being carved into our ideal self and our true self. As you get more famous and as you get acknowledgement for being a bhajan singer, you do get a lot of comments that are very far-fetched. Oh, you're Radha. Oh, you're an angel. Oh, you're, proposals from really random places. And I get a lot of that. And you have to remember that, okay, they're just seeing a small part of me. They're seeing the part of me that I wish was me all the time. The ideal side of me. But that is something I need to work on, to have that all the time. So I guess that's how devotion has changed my life. It's given me a glimpse of how I wish to be, that Mirabai kind of persona, that devotee, that kind of life that I want to lead. But it's a work in progress, and it always is. I will never say that I'm there, or I found the path, or I am the path, or anything.
But what are the questions then that are being asked?
The questions I get asked is, for example, I'd like to go into music, but I come from an Indian family, and my parents want me to be a doctor or want me to do something, conventional. What do I do? Do I follow my dream or do I not? What is the right thing to do?
What should they do, you think?
I understand it from both perspectives, because my parents always forced me down the academic route, and I always thank them that they did, because it's something I can always go back to. So my advice is always that just achieve, academically achieve. And then afterwards, whatever is in your nature, your swabhav, for you to do that, because you will never feel happiness doing anything else. And the world is a difficult place as it is, and if you're going against your own self, it's going to be really, really hard. So ultimately, they will support you eventually. It took a long time for my dad to support my music career. It took a very long time, but he knew that I wasn't going to back down. So that's it. You have to be committed to it, and you have to be willing to stick to it as well.
And for what I know is that you got an email from Mahani Heidel. She lives in Germany, and she creates her own mantras and songs and bhajan.
Yeah.
What do you think of that? You got that offer.
Yeah, I think, given the situation I had from an organization saying I cannot sing their bhajans, to someone else who doesn't know me, who I don't have any association with, who I've not been following or anything, to then offer their music that they've written and say, here, take it and make it your own. I think that's probably one of the most beautiful acts anyone can do. It's so gracious, it's so giving, and I was extremely touched. And it's amazing what she does, and I really do hope that we can collaborate in any way.
So what are your future plans for now?
So currently I am working on my new track, which is Rise Up High. It's a big deal to me because obviously it is written by me, and so you feel a bit nervous. How are people going to take it? But I've tested it out with my fans, and they're all pretty excited, so it's really nice to have that support. And I'm going to shoot it in LA. Future-wise, I'm also actually working on a book series called The Light Series. I used to be obviously a journalist, and so writing is something that I've always loved, and I try and do as much as possible. And I came up with this concept of children's books, which is also kind of devotional in a way. It's children's books that talk about morals and spiritual lessons and perspective, but in a very subtle, fun, underhand way. And I think it'd be good. It's good to introduce kids to these kind of messages that help them build self-confidence, help them build awareness, help them understand their own abilities and their own greatness. So yeah, these are kind of bedtime stories, and it's all about discovering the light within you, i.e. the Light series.
Do you have any message for your fans in Holland?
Thank you for being there. I still get a lot of messages on Facebook, sending a lot of friend requests, who all seem to know somebody in Holland. I really appreciated it because they were my first international audience. And so they were my first experience of that. And the fact that they were so loving and embracing and accepting of me is something I will carry forever. And hopefully I can always give them through music or through writing, whatever it is that they desire.
Thank you.
Thank you.